Tell you a little bit about Black Tie. They bought you, every one of you a membership. So I'm going to take you through how it works and what it is. And Nikki and Emily are both here as well. So if you want to raise your hand so you can talk to them too. And yeah, I will speak quite quickly. I hope to not bore the hell out of you. And I think you're going to be interested on some level. They didn't feed me, so I haven't met any of you. So apologies for that. Apparently it just encourages me. Anyway. Okay, so what is Black Tie? Black Tie was created very much because of what's happened in the travel industry over the last 20 years. What has occurred is that travel is now sold by one thing only, and it's by price. And what we want to do is look at this and say, okay, this doesn't actually work anymore. You can pilot high and sell it cheap, but travel is not about Walmart, it's about experiences. And what we want to do is bring the human knowledge and contact and do the work for you back into travel. Hopefully get you the best prices combined with that, but also deliver things that you can't necessarily go out and get on your own. So, for instance, if you're down in Seattle and you want to go and watch the Seahawks, how are you going to get tickets for that? So things like that we can go do. If you're in New York, do you want to go and see the Book of Mormon? We add things in that make a normal trip a little bit more of an experience. So that's what we did. We created it with Scotiabank, and Scotia and Hollis are now in partnership. We will only work with Scotia-owned financial businesses. So this is unique to Hollis in the wealth management arena. And we're based in Vancouver and in Toronto, so it's a Canadian business as well. Even though Nikki's sort of English, she's from the north of England. That's true. Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised she's using a knife and fork, but anyway. Anyway, so yes, there's going to be lots of irreverence and whatever. This is a human business, so we deal with people, we try and meet them where they're at. Most businesses are built the other way around, with the exception actually of wealth management. Wealth management is similar to what we want to do, which is you tell us what you want, you tell us who you are, you tell us what your passions are, and then we evolve with you. So it's about the relationship, and wealth management is a similar type of business, which is why it fits hand in glove with this. Very personal, we don't run a call center. So anyway, that's why Nikki's here and Emily. So it is exclusive to Hollis Wealth. Personalized travel planning. So we take the original idea of I want to go to London or I want to go to Seattle, and we then put itineraries together for you. They're all written out, designed specifically for you. They're very detailed. They'll offer all sorts of choices from theater to restaurants to whatever. And what we want to do is hit your passions. So some people's passions are sporting, some are cultural, whatever. So what we want to do is hit as many of those as we can in a trip. Personal travel manager will get to know you. So they'll know that you like boutique hotels, you like traditional hotels, you want to be central, you're more into sport than you are into, say, theatre. And so we'll build things around that. And you'll speak to the same team every time. Okay, so you will know who to call. It's a Vancouver number, and you'll speak to Nikki or Emily or whatever. We've got a team of, I think, 10 here in Vancouver. But you will have the same 2 or 3 people that you deal with all the time. And we want to deliver a personalized experience for you. So that's the goal. By the way, this is not for billionaires, all right? This is for normal people. It's not for people with private jets and people with whatever. It's not expensive. We don't charge you for this, right? So we put this together for you. But we do try and get you tickets to whatever you want to do, whether you want to go to the Super Bowl, whether you want to play on any golf course in the world, with the exception of Augusta, before somebody asks me. I can get you on Augusta, but the sticker value is just ridiculous. It's open 2 months a year. You have to play with a former champion or a member, which is generally a senator from Alabama or something like that.
You wouldn't get along.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't get along. Exactly. But we have done it. And we've even had people caddying on par 3s with Bernard Langer on the day before the Masters. So we do that type of stuff, but it's not often. So the other thing we want to give you is status and benefits. And status is, well, in North America, if you fly on airlines here, not great. We want to give you status and benefits when you go to Europe or when you go anywhere. So if you're going to check in a hotel in Hawaii or check in a hotel in London, we want to get you one of the better rooms. We want to get you an early check-in, late check-out, an amenity. We want to add value to your experience. We want to get you the top level of a car hire. Right? So this is what we want to do. Fairmont is in here, we'll go through that. Fairmont is the best travel perk there is, and you have to stay 30 times a year to get it until we delivered it for you. So there's lots of fun. Okay, so this is the gift, one of them, that we give you. So you're now, every one of you, a Fairmont Platinum member. This is the top level of Fairmont. It's worth about $2,300 a year. So there's complimentary nights, early check-ins, 2 suite upgrades a year, 2 room upgrades. Depending on which level of room you get, it's either a $25 if you book the basic room, but if you take your wife for your anniversary and you book a basic room, believe me, go for the higher room and get the $100. She's going to hate you if you get the cheapy rooms. So enjoy the Willow Spas, enjoy the early check-in, late check-out is huge. And yeah, there's Fairmonts everywhere. There's one in Boston, there's one in Chicago, there's Seattle, there's one in Santa Monica, there's one in San Francisco. The one in San Francisco, the average room price is $600 a night. So use your complimentary night. Go down there and have a great time, and that's what we do. So you've all now got one of these. It is phenomenal. I use it all the time. I'm flying tonight to Toronto, and I'll get to Toronto about 8, but I'll check into the Royal York at 8 o'clock in the morning to have my room ready. And I'll leave at 5 on Friday, and I can leave at 5. It's a big, big value. You're going to love this, and it's courtesy of Rob and Jason. Anyway, they'll no longer charge you for internet or shoe shines, whatever else they charge you for. So, how this works, you speak to the same people all the time. You take advantage of elite statuses. We've also got, by the way, the top level of Avis or Hertz for you. You have to hire a car 40 times a year to get the top level of Hertz. We're giving it to you. So you will no longer have to line up. You will no longer have to give over your details. It will all be ready for you. You skip the line and you're gold members. Some of them, they're all franchises, but some of them will say, pick any car you want. Right? So this is really cool. But you're going to guaranteed an upgrade subject to whatever you do. What else we got? Please don't do what one member did to me. And this is a guy who was semi-blind from Whistler, and he decided to hire a Ferrari. And he said his bucket list idea was to drive from New York to Los Angeles. I thought that was fantastic. But he passed all the tests and whatever, and we got him insured. It was like $1,000 a day for the insurance. And I thought this was awesome until the car company we hired it from phoned up and said, "Andrew, you bastard." And I was like, what have I done? And he said, "I've just seen my car on TV." And I thought, oh my God, there's been some horrendous accident or something. The guy had entered the Gumball Rally. Oh. Right, so there he was in the Gumball Rally on TV in his hire car. So look, just one of the things that people do. Not all clients are good.
We're all getting all that free.
Yeah. Anyway.
Let's do it.
I can. You're trouble. You're trouble.
He knows too much.
So concerts we do, and if you're going to go and see a concert, don't sit in Rose Ed. You know, get decent tickets if you love Lady Gaga or you want to go and see. We did a private one this year with Andrea Bocelli in Rome, which was awesome. So that's one of the things you can access if you happen to be there. The Black Tie magazine comes out quarterly. No, it doesn't. It comes out 3 times a year. So, but this will give you lots of ideas and details and all sorts of deals. So if you look at Viking cruises or the river cruises on the back page, they're saying contact your personal travel manager. We get all sorts of value-added deals for our clients, and all you have to do is phone your travel manager to ask for them. So we got Hertz, Avis, those are permanent, Fairmont's permanent. Anyway, so that's the Black Tie magazine. Some of the brands we work with, cruise lines. We do a huge amount of cruise business. Paul Gauguin, Windstar, Arosa, Viking, Avalon. Right. So, Nikki has how many years experience in travel? 30 years. Emily's been around.
When she was 3.
Okay, so what this is about is picking up the phone. It's about calling your travel manager. It's about talking to them. And it's not about sending endless emails. We can work that way if you like, but it's about you and how we get to know you. So some of the private bonuses we have there. British Airways one is interesting. if you have an Air Canada status, we will match it with British Airways. Okay, so that gives you the same access to lounges, priority check-ins. If you're elite, you become BA Silver, I think it is, and if you're super elite, you become BA Gold. Also, we can announce tonight for the first time that the Raffles have come in and agreed the same deal as Fairmont. All right, so the Raffles have hotels such as the Royal Monceau in Paris. You can now use your Fairmont Platinum there. Believe me, it's really expensive staying in the Royal Monceau in Paris. But you can use it there. The Raffles Hotel in Singapore, of course. These are great, great perks. We set all these up for you. Okay, so some of the things we do on our ticket sites. InspireTickets.com. Inspire is the Scotia brand. But you can go on this and you can play around and you can look at where you want to sit in any NFL stadium. This is really good for America. If you want to go down to the States, this site is awesome. You can go to concerts in Tennessee, and whatever else you want to do, you can go to the Final Four. You can even book Masters, or you can phone us. It's up to you. But this is really strong in the United States. We're not so strong in Canada, simply because of how tickets work here, but we can still get you anything you need. Okay? Anything you want to go to, we can organize for you. So, we're part of a group called Ensemble, which is like a group of luxury travel agents around the world, and therefore it is not just about Fairmont, it is not just about Hertz. We can add value to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of suppliers, whether it's Hilton, Starwood, whatever it may be. So we can access all this because Ensemble go and negotiate rates for us. So we spend a lot of time dealing with suppliers, getting you added benefits. This is all stuff you can't get on the internet. Okay? So Ensemble is critically important. Some more brands we work with, Melia. Melia, by the way, all-inclusives don't have to be awful. Some all-inclusives are really good, and they serve you alcohol that you can drink. And some of them don't allow children. Yeah? So, anyway, if you don't like children, if you want to have a good time. Right. If any of you have ever flown with children? Right. What were you thinking? What were you thinking? So, now we have black tie luxury villas as well. There's 500 villas on our site that have come on site. So everything from the Caribbean to Mexico and anything from spa, limited mobility and honeymoons, same thing really. Wine regions, private islands, multi-generational. The biggest growth area of travel is multi-generational, where people are hiring big houses and going with 3 generations of their family for Christmas, New Year's. That's the biggest growth area of travel. Okay, so it's particularly popular for Italy. But there you go. We can do it anywhere. So this is worth looking at. It's on our Black Tie website. So most of our clients are normal people. They are asset rich and time poor. And when they do get time off, they want to go and enjoy it. So they want to make sure that they have the best a city can offer. And you know what? If you turn up in London and you want to go and see Tottenham versus Arsenal, how are you going to do that? Right? So we can do that for you, and we can get you hospitality. Please don't do what the Scotia, you love this story, it's the Scotia McLeod guy. Did I tell you this one? Scotia McLeod guy, 4 of them, they bought tickets for Manchester United. And they called me and they said, Andrew, we want to go up and meet Alex Ferguson. I said, well, I can't do that. You didn't buy anything through me. I can't help you. And he said, I said, how are you getting up there? And he said, by train on Saturday. And I went, awesome. So what are you going to wear? And he said, I'm going to wear my Manchester United shirt. And I said, you're going to die. I said, you're travelling to London with 10,000 Chelsea fans on the soccer train. So local knowledge is important, and we use destination management companies in different cities to make sure that you're okay. Because, you know, it's not safe. He went up the night before without his Manchester United shirt. So, flexibility, the other thing you will know from the internet, apart from the fact it's bloody awful, there's no flexibility. If you want to book a junior suite, or you want to change your flights, or you want to move to this route, whatever, who do you call? And so that's what we're there for. You know, you only realize how much you need is when things go wrong and you want to change stuff. Try booking a junior suite on Expedia, good luck, and we'll see you next year. Flights are the same. Like, we want to take all that work and do it for you. Okay? So this is the New York Times. They reckon 2 to 3 hours to book a journey to where you know you're going and where you know you're staying. By the time you've compared flights, 7 different types of hotel room in the average hotel now. And that's when you know where you're going, 2 to 3 hours. 4 to 5 if you don't know where you're going, and I think this figure is low. I know that when I book a vacation, it takes a lot more than 14 hours. For my family and my kids and whatever. By the time I've done that, I've lost the will to live. I don't want to go. I never want to book anything again. And it used to be the travel that took all the time, actually getting there. It's now the booking. And you're still not guaranteed you're going to get what you want. So, the story of that was the lawyer that called me and said, I want to book a hotel and I can't remember what it was, a hotel and a flight to New York. And we sent him a quote and he came back and he said, I can do both the hotel and the flight cheaper. I went, okay, let's look at it. His flight left at 7 in the morning, mine left at 11. So he said, I like your flight better. And I said, okay, fine. And then my hotel room was early check-in, which he needed, and it was an upgrade. And he said, well, I like your hotel room better as well. I said, well, I said, how long did that take you? And he said, I don't know, a couple of hours. So what do you charge an hour? And then he got it. Right? He billed out over $500 an hour, wasted $1,000 of billable time to save $60 on things he didn't want or need. And that's what we do. So, you know, it's not about, we're not Walmart, we'll get you the same deals. So it is about special events and experiences around the globe. We've got people going to the Rugby World Cup, we did the Soccer World Cup, we do them all, the Olympic Games, whatever, opening and closing ceremonies, and we're going to resurrect the dead currency of points, which you all have hundreds of thousands of, which are completely useless. They're all like chocolate teapots, right? So we're going to resurrect them for you. Now, you don't even know this yet. So you need more flexibility than anyone else. High net worth clients change their plans all the time. So you need flexibility more than anyone else. When the big freeze happened at Pearson, we had 35 clients at the airport. We booked every one of them in a hotel and got them on flights the next day. The Boston bombing, we tracked down all our clients in 3 hours. And when we have clients that lose all their documents, when they get stolen in places like Naples or Barcelona, and they lose their passports, they lose their credit cards, they can call us, we call the bank, or you can call Rob or Jason, get in touch with the bank and we can organize it all. We can get you to what you need, okay? So you only know how valuable that is when you're there. We can do things like the Louvre when it's shut. Tours of the Louvre, we can do the Vatican. There's lots of things we can do. We do lunch at the House of Commons with an MP if there's enough of you in London. Right, so we can do the gold and silver vaults in London, in the city itself. There's all sorts of things. I'm taking people to the Old Bailey, to a murder trial. There's lots of things you can do that don't cost money. They're not expensive. It's about adding value. It's about having fun and seeing the best of the city. We're taking people in Paris into the catacombs when they had Le Terroir there and whatever else. Lots of fun. So take a mundane trip and make it exciting. Go and see the Yankees in New York. We had people in the batting cage this year. These are on an extreme level, but most of our stuff is what I call city breaks, which is go away for your wedding anniversary or birthday to a city in the United States. And that's our bread and butter. So what we're going to do with points, you have more of them than anyone else and less inclination to use them. So we're going to do it for you. Okay? And we're not going to charge you for the first year. And then it's $10,000 a year. No, it's a staggering, it will be rolled into the membership, but it's a staggering $8 a month. And you get a personal points manager. And they will manage your Aeroplan, they manage your Hilton, they manage your Starwood, they all manage your points. And they'll tell you, look, stay in the Hilton when you go to San Francisco because you're just about one level up and you get a free suite. And you go, awesome. And we'll get your Aeroplan flights and your extra dollars are going to cost it. They will do it all for you. Okay, so this is bringing back the currency of points. We are not going to be involved in converting them because it is so, what's the word I'm looking for, when someone gouges you, right? They gouge you so badly that I don't want to be associated with that, so I don't want to convert them. I will put them into travel, what they're meant to be, or you can put them towards Toys R Us. But I won't convert Starwood into Aeroplan, right? Because it's just punitive. And you'll blame me. I don't want to get blamed. I get blamed for everything else. It's enough. I'm married sometimes. Occasionally. So we're going to do this for you. You're going to have a points manager and a travel manager. And here we go. Everyone thinks that what we do is really expensive. It isn't. We're going to guarantee you the lowest airfares on any airline anywhere in North America. Guaranteed. And if you find an airfare in Canadian dollars that is on a booking site at that time that is cheaper than the one we quote you, so this is going to start November 1st, we will beat it by $1. Okay? So it's lowest airfare guaranteed. All right, on any class. Even, apart from Rob, who walks everywhere. So he has the lowest shoes guaranteed. Right, so that's what we're going to do. So most of your travel, 80% of your travel is going to be North America. So let's get you there as cheaply as possible, and then you can spend money when you're in the city. Right? And you can have a better hotel room and your wife won't hate you, and you can spend money in spas and whatever else. That's our goal. But we're also going to extend this at some stage to Europe. Okay? So we're not expensive. We're going to be cheaper than anybody else on air. Our goal is to get you a better experience when you're on the ground. So this is what it will be. If you beat us, we will give you a $20 credit for the next booking. Who put that in there? Really? We're already beating it by $1. Now I'm losing money. Right. So, quote must be provided from a registered Canadian travel site in Canadian dollars. Okay? We cannot guarantee fares from auction sites. If somebody puts an airfare up for auction and the bid on eBay is $7, that doesn't count. Okay? So it must be a bookable site as well. So it must be something you can actually go on and book. So it's not about Google Flights. Okay? So it's fairly standard rules. So now, we're also starting an events desk. So this will be a bunch of experts you can call and say, where am I going to sit in Wimbledon? Or what am I going to do at that NFL game? Or whatever it may be. Or where can I go and watch a decent Canadian hockey team? Ooh. I said that in Calgary, I got thrown out. It was awesome. Anyway, so we will be able to take you through the steps of where you're going to do, what you're going to do, how it's going to work, where is the hospitality in the Masters and Augusta. So lots of fun, enjoy it. The tennis is a really big seller for us around the world. So, this is about the bucket list, and this is about your dreams. So this is very much linked into Rob and Jason. It's about taking dreams, turning them into a reality. And Josh, sorry Josh, I keep ignoring you, and you're much bigger than me.
In all ways.
I know. Anyway, so hidden passions, future adventures. And what this means is, let's take the dreams and put them in a plan. These things are expensive. If you want to go on a safari with 3 generations, it's not cheap, right? So they need planning, but this is about living. And these guys make it happen for you. So this is where you tell us what you're going to do, and we feed it back to them, and they plan the stuff for you. All right, so this is about those special occasions. So the bucket list, there's lots of choices, lots of adventures. Buy the ticket, take the ride. And these are just some of them. See the Northern Lights. And not all of them are expensive. The visit the pyramids, slightly dodgy at the moment. Dodgier than skydiving. 7 Wonders of the World. African safaris, again, slightly dodgy. Kenya is not popular right now. I've got all the pomp. New Year's Eve in Times Square sounds awesome. It's awful. Don't do it, because it's now in, like, how do you put it? You go into pens at 11 o'clock in the morning. There's no bathrooms and it's -2. It's no fun at all. If you're going to do it, watch it from a hotel room. Mardi Gras, New Orleans, go get robbed. Blue Lagoon, that's fun. The jungle treks are great. We do some great stuff down in Laos, Cambodia, Thailand. Luxury train trips. Again, knowledge helps here. A lot of people say, I want to book the Orient Express and go to Venice or wherever. Sounds great, looks great. Only one bathroom between 10 cabins. Ladies don't like it. So, you know, that knowledge is really important when you're booking dream stuff like this. They can't convert them to, you know. Anyway, Route 66, really popular, don't take my Ferrari. Not that I have one, the one that was taken from us. So Route 66, Voyage to the Atlantic, private tours of the Vatican, rainforests. We did a lot of this year with Brazil and the World Cup from Manaus. Tiddlerets. We can do some incredible things in London. We did a James Bond adventure in London. It was awesome. Spy training. Cold War spy training was really good fun. Rock and roll tours. We did that. And we're also doing Beatles stuff because it's the 50th anniversary of the Ed Sullivan Show. So we're doing one that we're going to put together where people go to the plaza and they're taken around Strawberry Fields, the Dakota building, where John Lennon was shot. And then it's London and they're going to Abbey Road Studios to see, again that's closed, which is closed to the public, but it's awesome, and you walk across Abbey Road. And then to Liverpool and the whole Beatles thing, again with the real Strawberry Fields and Penny Lane, and a trip escorted by John Lennon's sister, who does the tours. And then you can go to a game at Anfield as well. So there's all sorts of things we can do that are just fun. Rock and roll is one of the big ones. New York Fashion Week, really? Like, yeah, okay. The Super Bowl is a huge seller every year. In Phoenix this year. So the tickets are up 40% on what they were in New York last year.
And what's that mean?
It means, depending on where you want to sit, a Super Bowl is generally around, with all the parties and everything, around 10 grand. Yeah. Super Bowls are expensive, but Phoenix is really expensive because people aren't freezing this year. Gambling in Vegas, that's normal. No one's ever phoned me, by the way, when I've organised a Vegas trip with parties and things like that and said the next day, thanks. Not once. Go RVing in style. That isn't a picture of it, but we actually have access to Obama's campaign buses. And you can hire these things with a driver, and you can go around California to Napa drinking and going to golf courses and spas. And you have like rooms for 8 people. They are amazing. And it's just great fun. Hire one for 4 days, and it is awesome. But what's the point of going to Napa and hiring a car? So, you know, we do things like that, and they are Obama's actual campaign buses from the last election. And it's the ultimate in luxury and cool. Great fun. Wimbledon, snorkeling in the Maldives. There's all sorts of great hotels with spas and whatever. The big one, spirituality, is huge for people. They want to go to places like Bhutan. They want to go to the land of happiness. They want to do yoga in some, I don't know, some of these spiritual, whatever. But spirituality is huge. People want to go and be, and they want to... The land of happiness in Bhutan, by the way, they had one traffic light, and they took it down because people made them miserable. And that's actually true. But there's some really unique things you can go and enjoy, where you can be rather than do. Lunch in the House of Commons, we did that with Hollis last year. You saw the pictures. Did you see the pictures?
Yes.
Yeah, it was great. It was awesome. Scuba diving on the reef, yoga in Bhutan, you two in Dublin with a picture of Jerusalem, I think, behind them, but there you go. NHL, so the Californian trips, let's put something together for the Ducks, the Sharks, when the Canucks go there and whatever, and we'll organise it all for you, right? And you go on the Canucks tour. There's lots of things we can do. Marlin fishing in Miami. Well, if you're going to go to Miami or down to San Diego, go and watch the San Diego Chargers while you're there. Go and enjoy stuff. You know, shop at the best places. And driving Formula 1, we do that in England as well. You can drive a Formula 1 car at Brands Hatch. You can also do it in Mexico, in Cancun. You can go to a racetrack and drive Lamborghinis for the day. And Ferraris and things like that, which is quite fun for guys to do. Play soccer. We had people playing at Anfield this year. Food. Food and drink is the biggest thing we do. So the top restaurants in the world the Fat Duck in England, Noma in Copenhagen, El Bulli used to be the one in Barcelona. Food and drink is the one constant in what we book. So we try and get you the best places to go and enjoy what you like. For those that don't drink, we'll just enjoy the food, but food and drink's huge. So a dream without a goal is just a wish. So this is what Rob and Jason do. They turn goals in and make them possible. And because you're making them into a plan, and then they become real. So this is what they will do for you, and enjoy your life. So just a little bit more of irreverence from me, and I'll shut up and answer some questions. This is when I've been in travel, God, 25 years now nearly. Hampton Court Palace was built by Cardinal Wolsey, who also built my school, and I was taking a group around of any Americans here? Great. Awesome. So I was taking a group of Americans around Hampton Court, and it is very close to Heathrow. It's 5 miles from the airport, so you're right on the flight path in and out. Built in 1514. So we're taking them around there, and this American lady's go, "Oh my God, ain't this quaint? Isn't it amazing?" And the planes are coming in overhead. And she turns to her husband and she says, "What on earth possessed them to build it so close to the airport?" Absolutely true. That was in 1992 or whatever. Some more irreverence. I'm not sure how far I can go with these. Air Canada, which is unique, as you know. And this is actually true. In the 70s and 80s, all the airlines lost a fortune. Pan Am, TWA as they were there. And they announced these huge losses in triple figures, 400 million, 600 million. Air Canada didn't announce they'd made a loss. Air Canada changed the rules, and they said they hadn't made a loss of $385 million. They'd made a negative profit. Which I thought was a very new way of doing it, and all the airlines became very keen about that. One story about an air traffic controller with a BA with Concorde, which is why the picture's there. And Concorde's call sign was Speedbird. And it was coming into land at JFK, and there's a female New York air traffic controller. And Speedbird, in a very plummy voice, comes in and says, "Speedbird wants to come land at runway 8. And the air traffic controller said, "This is control, Speedbird, you're coming in on runway 6. And the Speedbird pilot came back and said, no, we're Concorde, we want to come in on runway 8, air traffic." And the controller said, in her lovely New York female voice, which I can't impersonate, "Last time I gave a pilot what he wanted, Speedbird, was on penicillin for 3 months, you're on runway 6. Can I be really politically incorrect, or shall I shut up and sit down? So, this is an Air Canada story from I think it was about 1970, and it's the most famous quote ever made by a pilot to air traffic control. And if someone gets upset by it, I'm really sorry. No, I'm not. Anyway, but what was said was they were coming into land in a new airport somewhere in Germany. I think it was Hamburg or Cologne, one of them. And the Air Canada pilot said it was very foggy, and he said he went down and said, "I can't see the runway lights. I can't see where I've got to land. Can you talk me in?" And the German air traffic controller came back and said, I can hear music. All right. Oh, sorry. And the air traffic controller said, "Have you never flown to Germany before, Air Canada? Do you not know where the Hamburg runway is?" And the Air Canada pilot came back and said, "I've flown to Germany many times before, in Cologne in particular, but it was many, many years ago and we never landed." Absolutely true. And one more story about Concorde. Again, this is an American story. I love Americans. I do love Americans. But this is an American story. So we were taking a group of Americans to see Concorde on the ground. And we were telling them what it did, and it travels at Mach 1 is the speed of sound. Concorde travels most of the time at Mach 2. It can do Mach 8, right? So it's 1,500 miles an hour. So it's fairly quick. But if it travels at Mach 8, it's faster than any known bullet from a gun. Was what they were saying, right? That's bloody quick. So that's what we said to the Americans, and he said, you Brits and French, you're unbelievable. He said, if this was a US plane, it would be a military plane. And I said, that's just awesome. He said, what a fantastic idea. And he said, isn't it? And I said, no. And he goes, why? I said, because you'd have just invented the first military aircraft that if it actually opened fire, would only be able to shoot itself down. So that's also true. So thank you very much. Really enjoyed meeting you, as I have, and please use these services. They're complimentary. We do not charge you for itineraries. All right, we don't charge you for what you do. Okay, the most we charge you is $30 for a booking fee. Okay, so it's not expensive. What we're going to do is add your experiences, enjoy your travel managers, enjoy your points service from November 1st. Point starts November 1st. And that's it from me, I'll shut up.